Hello friends, welcome to second lecture of overview of advanced machining processes. In my previous lecture, I have discussed about mechanically energy based processes and EDM. Today we'll cover the remaining parts. That means in this particular lecture, we are going to talk about basic working principle of laser beam machining, plasma arc machining, electron beam machining, focused ion beam machining, and at last electrochemical machining and chemical machining. Okay, so now this is another interesting thing which children in their child age or young age, they keep doing something magic. They take a lens, okay, as I have shown in this figure also, and they concentrate the sun rays on the piece of paper. Okay, sun rays on the piece of paper, and they burn this piece of paper, and they enjoy this burning of the piece of paper, and they call it is magic. Similar kind of concept has been utilized. If you see here, in case of laser beam machining, you are doing in laser beam machining, you are concentrating the laser light. Okay, you are concentrating the laser light on the very small, sorry, at the very small spot on the workpiece to be machined or to be given a particular shape and size at a and the high intensity of the this laser beam light, that you can, it is going to impinge on the workpiece, that you are going to melt or vaporize that material. Okay, as we know. So, and when you are going to concentrate laser beam by very small spot, the temperature goes on increases to very high. Okay, that means temperature goes to very high value, and you can machine or you can melt and vaporize any metal or material. You can get the desired shape and size of that material also. Okay, so the beam principle or metal removal action happens due to the melting and vaporization of the workpiece metal. Okay, now there are certain problems with some materials which got high thermal conductivity and high reflectivity. They can be machined, but performance of the process becomes very poor, especially in case of aluminum, copper. Okay, so very low machining efficiency will use this particular process. Okay, in the beginning might be we are getting very low machining efficiency. Machining efficiency was as low as 1%. Okay, so this point we need to consider. Okay, have you got the basic concept of laser beam machining? So let us move for next. Now we'll go for the another advanced machining process, that is plasma arc machining. Now in this particular machining, as you can see here, you have the gas which is coming in, and it is connected to the electrode which is connected to negative terminal of DC supply, and here is the workpiece which is connected to the positive terminal, and very high potential is applied between them. And when this gas comes, then arc is formed. Okay, plasma arc is going to form, and the gas get ionized and plasma is formed. Okay, and this plasma has very high heat intensity, and you can cut any material that you have. And when we want to cut very thick material where electrical arc does not work. At that time or at that place, we use plasma arc cutting or plasma arc machining for those thick materials. Okay, and you can cut into the thick material into the pieces. So this is very interesting, very useful process, but this process is used for rough machining or rough cutting, not for finish machining or finish cutting. Okay, now this is another very interesting process, electron beam machining. I have shown already that some of examples of machining, that means the machining of micro holes with the help of some processes. Now this EBM, again it is very simple. Here you have a hot tungsten filament, okay, or hot tungsten wire filament, or hot tungsten filament which is emitting electrons from this filament, and here you can see electron gun is there. Okay, we will discuss all the parts here. And here you have electron magnetic lens, and then beam control also. Sorry, beam control coils is there, and you can see here this electron beams, which is electrons in this particular beam are moving at a velocity. Okay, this is a electron beam, which is electrons in this particular beam are moving at a velocity which is close to the light. And when such high velocity electrons, although they have got negligible mass, but with such a high velocity, it will create a very high temperature at the point where they hit the workpiece, and temperature is very high. But okay, so by hitting that high velocity electrons, the material removal will occur at this surface. But the condition is in this particular machining is chamber, it should have a, in this chamber it should have a vacuum. If air is there, then the molecules of the air will strike with the electrons, and they will lose their energy, and you will not get very fine cut on the workpiece component. So mostly the vacuum is created in the chamber, and the vacuum can be 10 to minus 5, okay, mmHg. Okay, however, there are certain versions of this EBM machine, okay, where people are using air rather than the vacuum, but the efficiency is very low as compared to this. Okay, so again this is a basic idea about the electron beam machining. Now there is another process known as focused ion beam machining process. Now in this particular process, splattering of or knocking out of atoms from the workpiece surface takes place because the kinetic momentum transfer from the incident ion to the target atoms. As you can see here in this particular case, now there is a incident ion. It is coming at a very high velocity, and it hits the top surface of the workpiece, and it hits the particular atoms. Now if the energy of this atom is larger than the bonding energy of these atoms on the top surface, then particular atoms will be splattered off, and this ion will also go away from here. Okay, but normally what happens, that the energy content in the ion is much larger than the bonding energy of this atom. As a result of that, in place of one single atom, it removes many atoms from the top of the surface, and it penetrates inside the surface, and over there and this is not desirable phenomena. So the energy of ion should be more or less the same, which you can break the atom from the top surface and remove them one by one. However, it does not happen so at sufficiently high energy of the ion should be more or less the same, which can break the atoms from the top surface and remove them one by one. However, it does not happen so at sufficiently high energy, the cascading events will penetrate more deeply into the solid. Several atoms or molecules will be rejected, and the bombarding ion will become implanted deep within the material, and this is not desirable phenomena in case of this. Okay, so from this you will get the idea of ion beam machining. Okay, now we are going to talk about the next process, that is a electrochemical machining. Okay, and you must knowing the electroplating. Okay, so this electrochemical machining is just a reverse of electroplating. Okay, so in this particular case, you have the tool, you have the workpiece, and both are electrical conductive, and you are use what is known direct electrolyte. Okay, in between tool and workpiece. Okay, so electrolyte means what? It is nothing but the solution of normal salt in water. There are other electrolytes also, which we will discuss later on. Okay, so here when electrolyte is flowing in between gap, that is a interelectrode gap, and you connect this tool to the negative terminal of DC supply and workpiece to the positive terminal, then current start flowing in the gap. Okay, and this gap is known as interelectrode gap, and when this current is starting flowing, then electrochemical reaction takes place, and as a result what happened, that material is removed from the surface of workpiece, and you get the cavity formed in the workpiece, which is close to the shape of the tool, and in this way you can machine any hard material. Okay, now it is the chemical property or metallurgical properties of the workpiece which affect the performance of the process, rather the mechanical property of the workpiece. Okay, that is the hardness is no more varied in this kind of processes as we find in case of conventional. Okay, so here no barrier of the hardness of the workpiece or tool. Now there is another process, that is chemical machining process. In this process you are using the etchant, which reacts chemically with the workpiece surface. You use the maskant, okay, to hide the surface from where you do not want to remove the material, and you immerse workpiece, okay, in the etchant solution, which already has the on that workpiece where you don't want to remove the material, there you are going to put the maskant, and once you immerse it for the definite period of the time in the etchant solution, then that material start dissolving chemically, and after certain period of time you take out the workpiece out of that tank, and you will find the desired shape and size on the component, that is a material removed or etched from that work surface. Okay, and this is happening due to the chemical dissolution. Okay, so this is a basic idea about the chemical machining. Okay, so here we are closing this session, and here I have mentioned the reference for this my lecture. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel and follow us. Thank you.
Hopefully you might have enjoyed the lecture. Then please do like the video and know your thoughts in comments. Please do share this video among your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. After subscription you can press the bell icon to never miss the notification regarding our new videos. Thank you so much.